Hi friends, welcome back to Inspo English. I am Xavier KS. Friends, today I am here with the second part of our discussion on W.H. Longfellow. In the first part, I gave you an introduction to the poet. In the second part, today I would like to give you a summary of the poem Sunrise on the Hills, written by W.H. Longfellow, which is there as part of the syllabus of plus one students. Before coming to the summary, I would like to make a comparison between William Wordsworth and W.H. Longfellow. There is a kind of similarity even in their name. One is Wordsworth and the other one is Wordsworth. Both are romantic poets. They love nature. They argue like an advocate for nature. And they say that most of the problems of man are there because he gets away from nature. So he advocates a return to nature, a life in the lap of nature, in union with the nature. Coming specifically to the poem Sunrise on the Hills, in a sense it's a didactic poem that deals with the healing power of nature. It gives us a value. At the same time, it's a romantic poem sharing the experiences of the poet as he watches the sunrise from the hilltop. In the first stanza, of course, the poem is written in three stanzas. The first two stanzas gives us a picturesque description of nature, and the last one gives us the message of the poem. Okay, and coming to the first stanza, the poet says, he stood upon the hills. The heaven's wide arch, that is the horizon. In general, the sky, but with a special reference to sunrise, we mean the eastern horizon, was brightened by the sun's returning march. The sun sets in the evening and reappears in the morning. So the sunrise is said to be a returning march of the sun. Then the woods, that is the forests, were lighted by the rays of the rising sun falling through a green roof, that is the tree tops. There was a gentle wind kissing the vales, that is the valleys, blowing with a healing touch, a soothing touch. Standing at an advantageous position, that is the hilltop, the poet sees the clouds far below him and the bright rays of the morning sun falling on them. The patches of clouds were found gathered on top of the woods, maybe at different heights of the hills or on tree tops. And the fading clouds looked like soldiers retreating from a battlefield after being defeated or held hostages. Then the pinnacle, that is the treetops, were visible through the misty air as the clouds became thin or faded. The poet notices the dark pine trees rocking on the cliff. That means violently shaken in the wind, the pine trees were bare and broken and ruined. Finally, when the clouds vanished, the valley below was shining in the rays of the bright morning sun. The shadows of the trees falling on the surface of the river made it appear a little dark. But it was shining in the waterfall. That means at some part of its course, the river was shining brightly because there was a waterfall. Okay, there the water will be flowing in torrents, I mean very fast, and naturally that can be found shining. Then, as the sun rose up, a noisy disturbance could be sensed due to the activities of human life. Coming to the second stanza, the poet could also hear the sound of the distant waters dashing and the river currents whirl and shine. As I mentioned earlier, during the course of the river, there can be waterfalls, there can be areas where the river is running very fast, and naturally the distant waters, that means as the river runs down, distant waters dashing and the river currents whirl and shine. The trees were bending silently along the silver beach. That means the beach was found silverish or silver in color. Why? Because the rays of the morning sun falls on the sand beach, perhaps. And the lake was blue because the water was crystal clear and deep. So naturally the lake found very bluish in color. Then came the sound of the gentle music of the village bell. As the sun came up, as the sun was rising up, there came the sound of the gentle music of the village bell. That may be a bell that wakes up everyone. Okay, something that is happening habitually every day in the village. And that resound across the hills. Then the sound of the wild horn. As the village bell sound echoes, resounds on the hills, the sound of the wild horn also comes up. That fills the woodlands as a response to the merry ringing of the village bell that rang far and faint across the valley. Then, as if answering or countering the sound of the wild horn. Wild horn may be the sound of a hornbill. Okay, hornbill makes a big sound. The bird hornbill makes a big sound. So as if answering the sudden shot of the wild horn, that is hornbill, thin smoke came up from the thick leaves, branches in the forest. Here actually there is a different imagery. A word picture is given. See, first comes the sound of the village bell. And as a response to the village bell echoing on the hills, the sudden shot of the hornbill, that means the sudden cry of the hornbill comes. And next comes the smoke or the fire, smoke of the fire. Maybe the fire is there due to cooking, as part of cooking, or maybe to get rid of the cold winter, to safeguard from the cold winter. A fireplace. So that smoke may not be very thick, very thin. Curls of smoke will be going up. But actually the cry of the hornbill is described as the sudden shot of the hornbill, and the smoke of fire going up in curls, thin curls of smoke. So that brings out or bring into our mind a different imagery. Now, coming to the third stanza, it is didactic in nature, as I said at the beginning. The poet says that if we are going through tough times, hard times, and all our energy oozed out, and with sorrow that we would like to forget, we should go to the woods and hills. If we would like to get a lesson, a value that would prevent our heart from fainting, from sinking, and keep our soul awake, what we have to do is visit nature. Sit in the lap of nature. No sorrow or tears can dim the beauty of nature. We can take as much as we want from her abundance and be revitalized. I think this will provide a brief summary of the three stanzas. As I said at the beginning, the first two stanzas gives us a word picture of the beauty of nature as viewed from the hilltop, as it appears to the poet. And coming to the third stanza, we have a kind of didactic nature message, some values for life, the lesson that nature teaches us. So friends, I would like to come with the third part of this discussion on W.H. Longfellow. That will be a critical analysis of the poem, which will be very useful to you in the examination hall. So thank you for watching. Wait for the third session. Till then, goodbye and thank you.